Hi, this is Jamie Steinberg with Starry Constellation Magazine. So excited to chat with you, Lesley. First of all, your work on Clue and your body of work, and I still talk about the Mouse Olympics and your incredible humor on Will and Grace. You just have such a penchant for comedy. What was it about Love Danielle that drew you to be a part of this?
Well, I think it's a really important movie to be seen by as many people as can see it because it deals with a subject that has been basically not talked about uh, and needs to be talked about so that people don't feel alone and there's a community of people that are dealing with the same issue and making these very, very, very hard choices. And I thought the story it's a true story, a very true story, and was told in a very authentic, uh, sometimes funny, sometimes lighthearted, sometimes devastating way that will allow people who are faced with this condition to know that they're not alone in the hard, painful, traumatic choices that they have to face.
I think that to have two daughters, and this is sort of an impossible situation for Candy to be in, but she's such a great parent. She loves them dearly. And I'd love to hear about working with Jamie and Devin on this to flesh out
Mhm.
that familial bond and that rock in a hard place that she's in with two daughters in the same situation.
Yeah, it's devastating. It's a totally devastating situation. And I think that, what was interesting as an actor was because of Candy's past, being an recovering alcoholic woman, she made so many terrible mistakes when they were growing up, and the girls are not over it. They've got a lot of resentment, a lot of unspoken past um, feelings and conflicts regarding their mother. And that all comes out. And, having to play a character who's looking at that maybe for the first time in the way she does was challenging and devastating to play because and then on top of that, to be dealing with the fact that one daughter actually has cancer and the other one is considering making a very difficult choice. It was loaded, really loaded emotionally for me.
Yes, I was just going to ask how you shook off a long day of being in such a heavy situation.
You know, over the years of working decades, I've learned how to make, prepare, and create that reality, and then to let it go as soon as the scene is over. Because I used to not do that, and it was very costly to my mental and physical well-being. I did a mini series. I remember 3 months or 3.5 months, and I loved it, and I actually got the Golden Globe for Best Actress for it. I loved it, but the character wore an anklet, and for 3 months after the movie finished, I couldn't take it off. I was so bonded with that character. Well, that's not terribly healthy. So I had to learn how to create it and then let it go and let it live on film, but not necessarily inside of me. I
I,
lost.
I, I hit the button. Sorry. Is there a particular scene you're most proud of the work you put into, or maybe one you find the most poignant you were a part of?
Yeah, I think the scene where I confront Danielle after the AA meeting or during the AA meeting when we go out into another room, and a lot of history comes pouring out of me, my character, a lot of pain, a lot of uh, rage, a lot of old stories that haven't been dealt with, um, and a lot of revealing also where she came from, Candy, and why she is sometimes the way she is. So it was a great opportunity for the audience to get to know Candy on a deeper level, but also as an actress, just to really find all of that and, hopefully deliver it.
This is such a precious film too that I think more people need to see because we need to get that message about the BRCA gene out there. And as a woman, it's even more devastating because these are body parts that you feel define you as a woman. And I think that's what also makes it
A
such a
1000%.
heartbreaking part of this as well.
Yeah.
Um, that we have to physically deal with it in so many ways, but we also emotionally have to deal with it in so many ways. And I love that Candy is just another female who understands this, but also, is a motherly, supportive, but also, the trauma of your past, you feel it's all I feel she's a very real, based in reality character, and I think that's beautiful. What do you hope lingers with audiences that watch Love Danielle?
I hope that they don't feel if they're about to embark on this particular, excuse me, journey. Much of the movie um, allows us into the inner world of Danielle slash Devon, and what she has to face, her loss of everything you talked about, her loss of feeling like a sexual being, her loss of, confidence in the world, and let alone the physical experience of having to go through this. I think it's and then what happens in her relationship with her husband, her friends, and her sister. It affects everyone around you. And I think this film depicts it so authentically and beautifully that I'm hopeful that audiences will sense of resilience if they have to make these choices, and to know them out the other end triumphantly.